your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to resolve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Pastor Q, do you have a lot of people coming to you asking to be talked off the ledge right now?
I wouldn't say off the ledge. I think people are just still shell-shocked.
Yeah.
You know, I think people are still trying to figure out what this is, right? Obviously, our immigrant folks couldn't take a breather.
Yeah.
Right? So they had to do what they did on Sunday and then walked out of school yesterday, you know, all of that, right? And then, you know, I work with Clue, right? That's my other job, right? And so we do a lot of work with immigration. Clergy and Lady United for Economic Justice.
Thank you. Never get all those initials. Yeah.
And that organization was started by Reverend James Lawson and some other folks. Yeah, but we do a lot of work with immigration. So we did Know Your Rights training last week. We did some doing sanctuary stuff. We're worried about some of the organizations like Baji.
Black Alliance for Just Immigration.
Right, Black Alliance for Just Immigration, and also the other organization, I can't think of it right now. It's in but they may lose funding because of.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So.
Haitian Bridge Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They may lose funding.
And you're the child of immigrants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So does it hit different?
Yeah, but I think it hits more from I look at things more from a Pan-African perspective. So I think about Marcus Garvey, right, who was deported, right?
Yeah.
After he was accused of basically mail fraud, right? And that was in the 1800s?
Right, he just got pardoned on the way out the door by Biden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, so when you think about that.
200 years later.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, but when you think about it, this stuff has been going on that long, right? And the more things change, the more they remain the same. It's like one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah. Well, here's a question, and I don't know if you're tracking this, but from what I was reading in the early few days of the administration, we're like 2 weeks in or something.
It feels like a whole month, doesn't it?
It feels like months to me.
Yeah.
is that even though they were talking a big game, doing a lot of photo ops, shock and awe in terms of ICE coming into churches and schools and things like that, that the actual numbers are not up so far from the Biden administration, definitely from the Obama administration. Obama deported a lot of people. Is that what you're reading, or is it ramping up? I'm asking because I wonder how much of it is smoke and mirrors, so he can convince his base that he's deporting all these people, even while his billionaire friends continue to be able to exploit immigrant labor.
Well, I think he is definitely deporting a lot of people, right? Deportation is up because, again, we're working in that space. But the whole thing about going into churches and schools, I think he's meeting some resistance because a lot of the things that Donald Trump does by executive order, a lot of it is illegal, right? It's the Congress, like he wants to dismantle the Department of Education. He can't do that with a congressional approval, right? And he can't. What Elon Musk did by taking over the Treasury Department, he can't do that without congressional approval.
But he just did.
Approval, right? He did, but he's not supposed to.
Right.
Which means what he's doing is illegal. Right?
Yes.
But Trump,
yeah.
Last time I was here, I said Trump, he's going to control the executive branch,
right?
The legislative branch.
Check.
All right. And he's also going to
Congress.
Congress.
You said that. Legislative, executive, judicial.
And the judicial. He's got the Supreme Court.
And Wall Street.
Yeah.
So there you go. And to a large extent, the media, because they have Twitter now. The other two, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, are kissing the ring. So to a large extent, he's
controlling the whole nation. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, what Baji Executive Director Nana Jaffe said on here is it's the era of who gonna check me, boo. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing more and more what she meant by that, because he's doing a lot of illegal things, but where's the guardrail? Who's going to stop him?
Yeah. Well, the Democratic Party, number one, needs to grow a spine, right? We've got folks like Jasmine Crockett who stands up and
let's not forget Maxine Waters, who was Jasmine Crockett before there was Jasmine Crockett.
Right, exactly, right.
Before Jasmine Crockett was born.
Right. So we got a few folks who standing up, but the Democratic Party as a whole, I don't know if they're still licking their wounds because they lost, but all of that stuff, and they could have won, right? It was simple.
I do think that a lot of it was Gaza. I actually think that they cheated. I believe, and I don't have proof of that, but I see trend lines. I think it's possible. Let me put it that way. That they hacked it.
Let me tell you what could have happened.
Voter suppression.
Let me tell you how they could have won. Because the last time I was here, I mentioned this, right? All they had to do was allow a Palestinian person to speak at the DNC.
That would have been a start. Yeah. I mean, and I didn't understand that at all. I was at the DNC. You have a sitting congressperson. It's not like you have to get some random person. You have Rashida Tlaib, who would have qualified as a lawmaker. And
you could have just got a family member, just like you did for the Jewish family, for the Jewish person. So you should allow both of them to speak. You could have said, listen, I know what's going on in Gaza, but this is America, and in America we're inclusive, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we have so many different people.
To me, that's emblematic of the way that they treated the progressive wing of the party around.
Of course.
But Honey Brown,
they always ignore the
24
things they
makes
handle.
a good point, which is she's saying there's no heat for the Republican Party. I got a lot of heat for the Republican Party. I never let up on them. To me, right now, they're in full fascist authoritarian
But I get
mode.
what she's saying, though. The folks who are supposed to put heat on them, the folks who are closest to them, who are working closest to them, are not saying anything, right? Hardly any of them.
Oh, you're saying, as far as this moment right now. Yeah, that's insane.
Lawmakers, they're not saying anything.
And they're falling in line
quiet.
and voting for ridiculous things.
Exactly.
I will give it to the Democrats. Not one of them voted for Pete Hegseth for defense secretary.
Right.
So we only needed, one more or two more Republicans, and he wouldn't have been nominated. He wouldn't have been confirmed.
Right.
So you're right.
But the Republicans are going to vote along party lines, right? So
why, though? I mean, literally, right now it is literally an authoritarian takeover of the government.
But they feel like they have power.
Yeah,
they're in control.
Yeah, kinda. I mean,
power corrupts, right?
Yeah, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Exactly.
I know that.
So the more power they get, the more they want.
But are they forgetting who actually has the power right now? It's Musk and Trump.
Yep.
It's not you.
Right.
He'll throw you under the bus and you'll be little Marco.
But what do we say about proximity to whiteness or proximity to power, right?
Or proximity to dumbness? Does that also count?
Yeah, exactly. Some of our people, like MCs, that shouldn't be doing certain things for Trump. Yeah. Proximity to power.
Can you name those MCs?
Oh, Snoop.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Yeah.
Right? 50 Cent's been doing it for years. Lil Wayne. Like, he don't know what racism is.
At least he got a pardon out of it.
Well, right.
Rick
but it's always they sell out for something, right?
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah. Well, so what was Snoop's reason? Because Snoop is paid in full.
In 2017, Trump. He went off calling folks jigaboo who.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember it
well. So obviously they gave him something.
Yeah.
They gave him something.
I mean, some folks are speculating that it was because of the pardon of Harry O.
I don't think so. I think they gave him more than that.
Is it the crypto thing?
I think that's what it is.
It's a crypto portfolio?
Yep, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
that was the first thing that came to mind.
All crypto ain't good crypto.
Right.
All money ain't good money.
Well, the name speaks for itself. Your
if
career.
You sell your soul, can you get a refund?
No, you end up in the crypt.
Good to know, Pastor. 800-920-1580 if you want to chime in. Let's do it. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The FBI has complied with the DOJ's demands to turn over a list of workers who investigated Capitol riot cases. Agents filed a lawsuit fearing retaliation, and some prosecutors and FBI officials have already been fired. President Trump warned Iran would be obliterated if it assassinates him, signing a memorandum for maximum sanctions and enforcement. Authorities have monitored threats since Trump ordered the killing of an Iranian leader in 2020. The Senate has confirmed Pam Bondi as Attorney General with a 54-46 vote. Bondi, a former Trump attorney, has called for prosecuting those investigating President Trump and refused to answer questions about investigating Trump or acknowledging the 2020 election results. And Marvel Studios released the first teaser trailer for Fantastic Four: First Steps. Set in retro-future 1960s, the film premieres on July 25th. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Luka Doncic got a first-hand look at his new team Tuesday night at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, and he was impressed. Doncic was on the Lakers bench in street clothes for the Lakers' 122-97 beatdown of the Clippers. The Lakers scored 45 points in the first quarter, their highest total in a quarter this season, and led by as much as 31. LeBron, who sat next to Doncic whenever he went to the bench, had 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. The Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10 games. They have won 3 straight and are 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. The Lakers are having an important practice Wednesday morning. Doncic will participate in a 5-on-5 scrimmage, his first full contact workout since suffering a calf muscle strain on Christmas Day. Depending on how Doncic feels after the scrimmage, there's a good chance he could make his Lakers debut in Saturday's home game against Indiana. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone. I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Are you a recent college graduate with a dream of getting a high-paying job in sales? A job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DiPrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
Work, 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 work. What you want to do, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580 is thrilled to share that we have been named as a semifinalist for the coveted American Climate Leadership Awards, honoring our climate work last year. We're also delighted to announce year 2 of our Climate Justice Crusade. This year's $2 million 12-month campaign will link and combat the relationship between climate change and poor health outcomes for African Americans and the poor. Climate inequities have taken a toll with multiple health triggers in the Black community, such as extreme heat and poor air quality, made worse by the recent wildfires. Our work to ensure climate justice and climate equity continues. In the coming weeks and months, you'll be hearing a lot more about our 2025 climate campaign. To learn more about our plans for this year and the companies and organizations supporting us, log on to our website at KBLA1580.com. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you, neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. For up-to-the-minute info on distribution hubs, help, and volunteer opportunities in the Altadena area, please visit Neighborhood Servants or Pasadena Community Coalition on Instagram. The Wild Seed Collective is offering free grant workshops to businesses impacted by the LA wildfires. Find them at wildseedcollective.com. Fuller's Psychological and Family Services is offering 12 free therapy sessions to people impacted by the fires who are unable to access care. Contact Executive Director Dr. Ted Koss at tedkoss@fuller.edu. Grief and Hope, the LA Art World Mutual Aid Relief administered by The Brick, is offering help to artists impacted by the blazes. Info is available at the/brick.org. On Instagram, Mutual Aid LAN is updating a Google Sheet in real time with locations, verified GoFundMe sites, and current resources. If you haven't done so yet, it's still a good idea to sign up for Notify LA on your phone for fire alerts and updates. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That's the number if you've got something to say.
Say it.
Say it. Yeah, this is a place to say it loud.
Say it loud.
Pastor Q is here. Pastor Q, if people want to see you or come to church with you, to worship with you, what do?
They can go to theroadchurch.com and hit that link that says plan a visit.
Theroadchurch.com. Now, we talked last time, I think you were here, about the store.
Yes, the little corner market. That's in the works. We are
that you guys are buying. That's Creating Justice LA.
Creating Justice and purchasing it. Yeah, and it's the lawyers have the paperwork. We presented a contract, so the seller is looking at the contract now and making some redlining and all that other stuff. Not the redlining that we know, but redlining the contract.
Right. So it's moving forward. I mean,
yeah. Basically, hopefully we can sign the deal.
Asian family that owned the store that were friends of the community.
Correct.
Now selling it to the community-based organization Creating Justice, which you founded.
Yeah, exactly. And they wanted to sell it to a Black-led organization to give back to the community. So everything, all hope is not lost. That's why I said we gotta resegregate a little bit, right? we you know, if we would pull out some of our entertainment and pull out some of our talent and pull out some of our stuff, I bet you America act right. But I don't think we are organized enough to do that.
I mean, the doggone NFL is taking end racism out of the NFL.
Right.
Not that that's going to profoundly impact our lives.
No, it's not.
But a day without black people at the NFL would be a real problem.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Would be a problem. Okay.
Do it during the Super Bowl. Ooh, they'll be...
Who are you? Who are the scabs for the NFL? Who's going to cross the picket line?
Exactly.
Probably more black people. That's the only
probably.
people that, I mean,
yeah.
Who you want to watch.
Right.
Yeah, well... you know, I'm not going to argue with that. I call it circling your wagons.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because you're not welcome, but we got to take care of our own.
Yeah. And the scripture says there's a time for everything under the sun. There's a time to live. There's a time to die. There's a time to embrace. There's a time to get away from me. even Jesus said, you know, they were hollering at him, and Jesus was like, yeah, but he did not. The scripture said he did not commit to them because he knew what they were all about, right? Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to commit to everybody.
So let the Republicans do their Republicaning.
That's why I left Twitter, because I'm like, just us being on there gives them fuel, because they need someone to attack, right? Yeah. They need somebody to be able to talk to. They need an audience. And I'm like, I'm not giving y'all an audience. I got things to do. We got to democratize economics. We got to take care of our people in Skid Row. Yeah. We got to do the work, man. We ain't got time to mess with y'all.
So thinking back to Trayvon Martin.
Indeed.
Today, he would have been 30.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yep.
Because in some ways, it doesn't seem that long ago.
It doesn't. But nothing that deals with the trauma that this nation has caused on our people seems that long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, because we continue to research shows that stuff can be passed down through DNA.
There was
trauma, right?
Yeah.
It affects your children.
They had a lot of commemorations for him this weekend in Florida. There was a pretty sizable march.
Yeah,
for
I saw that. Yeah.
Tell me about how that impacted you as an activist, as an artist. I remember, it clear as day for the way it resonated around the country and in my own heart, but also around the country. And as activists, it's not like this was the first time that we knew about,
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
Lynchings.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that to me was a continuation of 1992, right? With watching how Rodney King was being brutalized, right?
Yeah.
And at the
or
time,
Emmett Till.
Or right, and I didn't see Emmett, but I saw Rodney King, right? And we internalized that and saw that. To me, it's just a continuation. Nothing. It wasn't anything that was different, right? The College Boys had a song that said, "If I was a bird, I would have wanted the president fly to the Capitol and on his resident," right? And in that song, it says Rodney King ain't to the N-word, but 1 out of 50 million love us or leave us, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of flowing here. You just gonna break into some.
No, I had to go on and beep it for you.
Not that. I'm just thinking, like, are you gonna
No,
are you gonna do some freestyle this morning? They said once a rapper, always a rapper.
Always,
like the mafia.
Always a rapper.
You can't get out. Yeah.
Yeah, emulsify my body with cardioplasmatic static cling to the fabric of your imagination and fusion coming through my body like soluble properties. The spirit sees me, I can't move. The fusion of theological matter, egotistical blabber, already alleviated from my bones and a daily, a healthy fear to the supreme deity. So now humans ain't gotta fear me. Now I'm chilling in spiritual chateaus where I residing in the cosmos. I'm living in the ghettos, LBC, Carmenitos. I shed a tear for the pimps, the players, and the hoes. Dilation of my pupil throws off the intellect. Third eyelid still closed. Keep it in retrospect. My lyrics be gross like Donald Trump's.
Okay. Okay. And when are we going back on tour?
Oh, I don't know. Probably never.
Probably never.
We trying to get our people, man. We trying to help our people.
Yeah.
Right? Because, hip hop is so, once you marry capitalism, thank God for Kendrick. Breath of fresh air, by the way.
Yeah.
Somebody keeping it 100.
I think about that sometimes, that just because the consciousness or lack of consciousness. I mean, we've always had people that were more, more activists and less activists, and that's just like human nature. Right. That's fine.
Right. But we needed to, and that's why I appreciate Kendrick, because we needed to level the field a little bit. We needed to bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that I don't like Drake, but Drake didn't start from the bottom. Now you're here, right? He started from the middle, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't expect him to have that kind of consciousness, right?
Right. And even if he started from the middle,
right?
I mean, there's middle class people that have been significant in our movement, right?
Right.
In our movements,
right?
But that has to do with consciousness.
Exactly.
And
that's the point I'm making.
Sort of.
He's not rooted in our culture like that.
Right.
You
There's
can tell,
that.
right?
And we even have right now a very widespread, it's this veering towards Trump that has happened. I would say more in the hip hop community than among the regular people of America. Lil Wayne?
No, toxic masculinity.
Really?
Yes, because remember, hip hop was male dominated for a long time. The bravado. Right.
I mean, it still is. If we're
when you think
real.
about exactly. When you think about when you think about don't push me 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. Make me wonder how I keep from on. I mean, in that song, it says it uses the F word to describe trans people, right, or gay people, right. So even back then, you had that kind of stuff. So even when I play those songs now, I got to kind of turn it down and then turn it back up, right? Because,
Yeah, I mean, that kind of, in that time, it was almost seemed more like a juvenile high school attitude, not to excuse it, but it was present in rock and roll and everywhere, not just hip hop.
Right. And Melly Mel wasn't that young when he did that song, right?
That's true.
Right.
But my point is now it's like, it's okay, it's fine, do you?
Right.
But I feel like we have such a pervasive and intentional pivot away from the people and towards predatory capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. And Donald Trump makes some black men feel strong.
Well, that, to me,
they feel like they're powerful.
Get me cussing on the radio.
Yeah.
For Q.
But it does, right? I know.
That's not manly to me. Let me put it that way.
But that's how they interpret it, right?
That's not manly.
That's how they interpret it, right? But I spoke to
What's
a
my
brother,
favorite word?
right? So I spoke to this brother who in Skid Row, right? And I'm like, so why would you vote for Trump? And he's like, because when Trump was president, the money was flowing. I'm like, but you still hustling. You still selling toxic stuff to your community.
Not only that, it flowed from Congress. It didn't flow from Trump.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, but you're still doing, how money was flowing and you still doing the same thing. It wasn't, I guess it wasn't flowing that much because you still doing this. And the other brother, he sells cigarettes. I'm like, so how is it flowing? How's the money flowing and you still walking around with a bag, hustling, selling, whatever. Now, I'm not gonna put him out there, right? But that's my personal conversations with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any case, that is one of the reasons why I have been grateful for the consciousness of Kendrick Lamar.
That's right.
The consciousness as manifested in his lyrics, even the self-critique, and why, even though Miles is a Eagles fan, I don't know if you got a team in this Super Bowl. But me, I'll be there for the halftime show.
I haven't watched the Super Bowl since Kaepernick.
Really?
Yeah, I used to watch Super
You're
Bowl.
You're boycotting the NFL still?
I'm still boycotting the NFL.
Wow.
I'm never going back.
Oh, never going back?
I'm never going back unless they change. If they start being more like the NBA, being unapologetic about black stuff. Like the NBA knows they have to be unapologetic. They have the Black History stuff, whatever, right? And I'm still mad
they
that
got to do more. So Jay-Z's not enough for you.
No. No. I mean, Jay-Z's too close to whiteness for me. He's too close to the oligarchs.
Wow.
Yeah. And I believe that a lot of people, once they get there, their mentality begins to change. And Snoop was a perfect example.
Got a follow-up question on that when we come forward.
Come on now.
On KBLA Talk 1580.
You know we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
For 75 remarkable years, our Authors Study Club has partnered with the City of Los Angeles to present African American Heritage Month celebrations. This Friday, February 7th, Mayor Karen Bass and Council President Marquise Harris Dawson will continue this extraordinary tradition with a Diamond Anniversary celebration for the ages. Join Honorary Chair Yvonne Wheeler, President of the LA County Federation of Labor, as we honor today's champions. Join actor and author Courtney B. Vance at the Central Library on Saturday, February 8th for a conversation on Black men healing. Additional free events will continue throughout the month of February, sponsored by the Brotherhood Crusade, LA Metro, and ABC7. Don't miss your chance to be part of this month-long unprecedented legacy. For more information and to RSVP, log on to oascla.org. This is your moment. This is our history. This is Los Angeles leading the nation again.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Pastor Q is here. You said Jay-Z has too much proximity to white.
Yes, he's
What
to the
does
power
that mean?
structure.
How does that, is it because he's so much a part of the NFL? I mean, what is it?
Too much temptation. If something really goes down, I don't see him standing up for the people in a significant way. I think he can do it by. It's kind of like when we do police work, right? We talk about reforming the system. And then there's the abolition of the system, or abolishing the system of harm, or what's really causing the harm.
Right.
I don't think Jay-Z can abolish what's causing the harm. I think he can do some reforms.
I see.
He can
I mean, I
get
know
some
that
deals
Jay-Z
done
and
different
Beyonce
things.
have donated money to different things. I know,
Right.
in 2020 they were low-key bailing people out of prison and jail and stuff like that.
All those are reforms because
Right.
the system stays. But
I see what
when we
you're
start
saying,
talking about abolition, then it's going to cost you something.
Yeah. Professor Golden makes a few interesting points here. He says Dr. King was middle class. He also says that he agrees with you, this brother, the filthy NFL no domestic violence policy is a great point, which my friend Dr. Tracy Shaw said. She's a sports psychologist, that she sent them a comprehensive proposal to dealing with domestic violence maybe 20 years ago.
Right.
As a
And
UCLA
what did they
sports
do?
psychologist. Crickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's a certain level of revenue that they can still generate dealing with Jay-Z. It's reciprocal, right? Because they still get the hip hop community.
Right.
Right. Because after that Kaepernick thing, they needed someone to bring back that audience or to keep that audience. And Jay-Z does that for them. So
By the way,
who's getting more out of the deal, right?
Yeah, who's the puppeteer?
Yeah, come on now.
Always that. One of my shadow producers, the great Fahima Sek, sent us a note that Marcus Garvey was deported in 1927. Thank you for that fact check.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I said the 1800s, but the 1920s.
Yeah, well, but she sent the article to remind us. And I did count it as a win that Biden pardoned him. I know that his family's been campaigning for that since I got on the radio in the 90s.
Yeah, as a West Indian, it's bittersweet, man. You know what I mean?
You got a hater in the chat.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Because he's dead?
Well, he's dead, and Bob Marley said, "How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look?" Right? The trauma that they caused is, I believe, what killed him. So, and they destroyed a movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
How about that inspiration, Pastor? My job is tough right now because I really feel like part of what we need to be doing right now is inspiring people, fortifying people, being a shoulder to cry on, reflecting their pain and their worry.
I think it's contextual. Depends on where you are, right? I think that's something that's general that we have to do that for all people. But I think we're probably talking because of the hour that we're living in, because of the things that this administration and all that's doing, right? So within that context, I think it's contextual, because if you're in Skid Row, this is not new.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like during the Depression, black people were not the ones jumping off the roofs because we've been dealing with poverty.
Come on now. Yeah. So, we were built for this, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And so I think we look at things a little bit differently. And so we got to fight, right? I don't think we're showing enough fight now, but I know why. It's because we had 2020. We went, we dealt a lot of that. We exerted a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. I think folks are still recovering. But eventually he's going to do something, and folks it's going to spark.
I think it's already starting.
Yeah.
It's starting with us. It's going to take a while to get to the middle class, to the white folks, but it's already starting because the overreach is insane right now.
Well, to me, the people I appreciate most in America right now are black women.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because when you vote, what is it, 92%?
92.
Right, of black women voted against this, because I tell people that the reason that I believe that happens, my own personal belief, right? It's not law, but I think because of the nurturing spirit of black women, right? It says that Jesus came off the boat and saw the crowd, and he had compassion on them because they did not have a shepherd. He didn't say a leader, he said a shepherd, right? And the reason you need a shepherd is what you're talking about. The reason you need a shepherd is because shepherds care for sheep, so they have a caring heart, right? So there's a leader in the Bible called Saul who came before King David. Scripture said David was a man after God's own heart. And David did some crazy stuff, right? Stole a man's wife, killed him, all of that stuff. But God still said David was a man after his own heart because he cared for people. Saul did not. In fact, the scripture said when they were trying to find him to lead, he was chasing asses, right? Animals, those.
Yeah.
Right? But David was tending sheep. So God always looks for people with a shepherd's heart to lead his people. And what we have in the White House is not a person with a shepherd's heart. The ship is going to sink.
Yeah.
Dr. King said, I fear I'm integrating my people into a burning house. The house is blazing.
Yeah. Well, the Sovereign Spiritual Warehouse in the chat is hating on you because he says, or she says, I don't know which one it is, I hate tethers. Why aren't you on Skid Row in Haiti? To me, that represents a division within black people, which I mean, you have a right to your opinion, but why do you automatically hate someone based on the fact that your family's not from here? You are from here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm not from Haiti.
Yeah.
Right? I came from St. Lucia, right? That's the first thing.
That part.
Right? And I would love to be in Haiti, but I can't be everywhere at once, right? And so you have to start with where you are, right? And our people are Pan-African, right? So the Haitians are my people, so African Americans, so African West Indians, so African Jamaicans, whoever, right? Those are all my people. So wherever I am, and this is where I'm at now, and I've been there for 18 years. This is where I'm at now.
On Skid Row.
On Skid Row.
Right.
This is where I'm at now. Skid Row is predominantly black, and this is where I'm at now. And since I'm amongst my people, I'm going to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Right. Even if I have to die doing it.
I mean, I think I understand. He says he's fighting on the wrong ground. That's not your choice. Each person has their own mission, their own purpose, their own life.
Exactly.
And
and I'm not from Haiti, so that point is mute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think there's everyone has a right to their opinion, but I think there's a divisiveness there that comes from a certain agenda.
Right. I could be in the Congo, right, or in Sudan, right, where we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Right. I could be there, but I'm here.
Wow, time flies. Pastor Q, tell us how we can support your quest to keep this store, to buy the store.
Yeah, so just go to creatingjustice.la, creatingjustice.la, look for Skid Row People's Market, click on that, and it'll show you a donation link. If you want to support for the church, you can go to therowchurch.com. There's also stuff on there that'll give you instructions on what you can do, how you can help. So therowchurch.com or creatingjustice.la.
All right. Well, Pastor Q, thank you so much for coming in. It's great to see you. Thanks for all the work that you're doing.
Thanks for always inviting me to the space. Appreciate you. Always have.
Thank you. And I appreciate you too. Wealth Building Wednesday is next. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The FBI has complied with the DOJ's demands to turn over a list of workers who investigated Capitol riot cases. Agents filed a lawsuit fearing retaliation, and some prosecutors and FBI officials have already been fired. President Trump warned Iran would be obliterated if it assassinates him, signing a memorandum for maximum sanctions and enforcement. Authorities have monitored threats since Trump ordered the killing of an Iranian leader in 2020. Refused to answer questions about investigating Trump or acknowledging the 2020 election results.